This podcast was edited and uploaded by Uncle Geeb Productions. Hey guys, and welcome everyone to the Drip J Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Geeb, and with me is Host Drip Media Gaming. We record this podcast live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, or anywhere you can find a podcast. You can also watch our video podcast over on YouTube. What is it? Crap, I messed it up for the first time in a while.
Wow.
YouTube.com/DripGeeb or Spotify. Drip, I messed it up for the first time in a while.
It's fine. I'm not even gonna give a shit for it. It
was fine.
It's totally fine. But listen, man, I'm so excited. We all finally got our wish. The leaked, rumored sequel. The sequel we've been waiting for. The sequel we have been waiting for. Finally. Everybody, 1-2 switch. It's finally going to be released.
Everybody wants to be cool. What's that song? Everybody wants to be happy. I don't know. Is that like island song for a commercial or something? I don't know.
The pre-show sign's still on, by the way, I think.
It is not.
It's off. Okay.
Yeah, guys. Everybody. So the sequel to 1-2 Switch, Everybody 1-2 Switch, has been announced, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Everybody, we'll get to that. What I'm more interested to talk about, and again, we'll get to that later as well. I am more interested in those Joy-Cons. I think those are sick. Yeah, personally,
I'm with those. I like.
If I had $200 just to drop for both of those right now, including tax, they'd be mine. They'd be on the way. they're
you on that one, brother. I like them. I do like them.
Pastel, everything, man. I love the pastel stuff. But Drip, we got an episode tonight. Obviously the title of the episode, the thumbnail, we're heavily alluding to, Nintendo possibly having a direct during this month.
It's possible.
June.
It's possible.
Just came to, happy June, everybody, by the way. First episode of June. So I don't know, Drip. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll talk about it. What may happen. Oh, I didn't actually post this to my Discord.
It's...
Well,
we'll get there.
Yeah. What I wonder what we're going to do here, Drip. But what do you got to... What do you want to begin with here? What do you want to begin?
Well, a few things here. I don't know. I kind of want to go back to some things we talked about to set this whole thing up. Yeah. So weeks ago, I think this is before we really jumped into the whole Tears of the Kingdom stuff. We were talking about, basically the episode ended up becoming, kind of the state of gaming outside of Nintendo. Not just Nintendo stuff, but just really everything. And kind of how everyone else is dropping the ball. And what's crazy, this is what's nuts. I don't know if it happened that day and I didn't see it or if it happened the next day, but we talked about Xbox just, they put out Redfall and it's terrible. And, they're like, 60 frames per second's coming, but it's going to be in a patch later. Like, how weird is that? That's so weird. But Phil Spencer was on a podcast like the next day and was basically he was just saying the craziest, weirdest stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just... I know for Xbox fan that couldn't have felt good to hear that stuff. Couldn't have felt good. It's very
I'll let you
strange.
keep going. I'm going to butt in real fast just because I feel like I am a nice person to kind of talk about this because, I am biased towards Switch, there's no doubt. But as far as not having either Xbox or PlayStation, I would love to own either. I feel like I can say this, confidently. I would be very upset to be a PlayStation or Xbox fan right now in June 2023, I would be upset. I feel you guys were upset. Yeah. I would be upset. Listen, Spider-Man looks great. We'll get to that. It looks great. What else you offering, PlayStation? How long am I gonna play Fortnite?
We'll get to PlayStation. We'll get to PlayStation. But Xbox.
Yeah.
Like
Xbox,
every
Xbox.
year. It's every year. Microsoft says, we got the 2021 E3 thing they did. Bam, Game Pass, day one. Bam, Game Pass, day one.
Big hype in the very beginning.
It was huge. It was like, next year's going to be the year. Next year's going to be the year. Nothing. And then they basically said the same thing. 2023 is going to be the year.
Yeah.
Nothing.
We're in year 3, Drip, for these next-gen consoles. This is year 3.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, that is the thing I want to end up when we finish breaking this down. That is where I want to end up with this conversation because that is the point. But I want to. I don't really want to give them a pass. But Xbox, they have a show coming up on June 11th. Like Redfall, shit the bed. Phil Spencer said a bunch of weird stuff on a podcast. But they have the opportunity on June 11th to show stuff, and they basically said again, like oh, there's going to be some surprises and stuff you could like. This is what Xbox fans have been waiting for. Like, no pressure at all, but they literally said that. So, I mean, we're either going to have them do the same exact thing they've been doing every single year. And if this happens again, I'm just like, I don't buy anything on Xbox. I have Game Pass, but what do I even use it for? Like, what do I need that thing? I don't know. My point is, they have a chance. This could be their big moment because they do have a huge Starfield Direct afterwards, and that is coming out this year. They've got one game coming out this year, which is basically what Sony has as well. They've got one big game coming out this year, and it's Spider-Man. They just had their, it's not a state of play. It was a PlayStation showcase, which is, state of play is like a smaller. The showcase is like the thing. You know what I mean? It's like the big thing. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'm not like big Sony guy. I like my PlayStation 5. I like Spider-Man. I like Miles Morales. Horizon Zero Dawn.
I like all those things as well. I got them on PC.
That's another reason that PlayStation fans are kind of like, everything's coming to PC. Like, why do I even need a PlayStation?
Not that. And listen, I got to be honest. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. Go ahead.
That's the thing. They don't do it day and date. But what did they start it? Like, what do you need a PS5 for at that point?
That's what I'm trying to say, man. I mean, if you got a PC and you're trying to sell
they're
me,
not.
If Sony's trying to sell me a PlayStation with these games, you're not doing a great job. Because listen, I'm very patient. I'm a Nintendo fan first. I can be very patient with these games. I got Horizon when it came out on PC last year. I think it was last year. I got Miles Morales this year on and there's great deals. PC has great deals. If you didn't know, PC gamers have it real nice with Steam and Humble Bundle, and there's a bunch of other good websites with deals. And I got Miles Morales for $40, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I have a PlayStation 5, but I've bought more Sony games on my Steam Deck.
Yeah.
From Steam on sale than I have actually paying for them on the PS5.
Yeah, it better be paying off selling consoles when the games launch. It better be paying, because otherwise they're botching it a little bit. But we're not really here to talk about that.
Okay, so the point is, PlayStation fans they weren't really happy. They didn't show a lot of first party stuff. They showed a few things. They showed a bunch of third party stuff that's going to be on Xbox too. So it's like, okay, I mean, that's cool. Spider-Man 2 was awesome, though. Lots of gameplay with Spider-Man 2. That's going to be their big thing this year, and that's fine. They've got one big game this year. They did show the Project Q, the handheld thing. I'm probably the only person on the planet who's happy about that.
Listen, I mean, we'll talk about it.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, let's talk about it.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, that thing is garbage town. It's and here. So let me tell you what we know about it. That's the issue, right? The issue is we don't know much about it. What we know so far is that it's coming out this year, potentially. These things can change. It's coming out this year. It's if you took a PlayStation 5 controller and you chopped it right down the middle, and removed the touchpad and replaced that with a giant 8-inch screen tablet. We don't know exactly if it has cellular data connectivity. We can make the assumption that it does not, because they did not say that it did. And you would think that it would, if it did have it, they would definitely say, hey, it's got cellular data connection. You would think that would be
like one of the first things. Like, even if they're not going to the detail, like, that would be a thing. Like, ooh, that kind of makes everybody a little bit more interested. Make 5G. Play anywhere.
Well, and let's be honest here. That doesn't matter, and I'm glad that it doesn't include it.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet,
because it doesn't matter. Because listen, in this day and age, everybody's got a phone. Everybody's got free tethering from their phone. I mean, I think everybody has free tethering. I mean, my service does, and it's a cheaper service, so I feel like tethering for free is a thing. So if you have a phone with you, which everyone does, it's not a big deal. But anyway, it's kind of a letdown product, because what's it really offering to you? People are making the joke that it's a Wii U tablet,
it's kind of like that.
It's a lot like that. It's worse than that, Because it's not going to, and if it was there to enhance your games, if it was going to give you on-screen controls,
That's true. Yeah, it doesn't.
that would be
else.
sick. Because like I've said on this podcast before, I think Nintendo should bring that feature back with the next version of the Switch, because that would be sick in addition to what the Switch has to offer. The same way it would be sick if in addition to what Sony and the PS5 has to offer, on-screen controls, things like that. And it's 8-inch screen. It's huge, much, much bigger than a Switch.
It looks,
I'm talking myself into it being amazing if it had that feature. But it doesn't. It's what it is a mobile phone without the phone guts. It's a screen on a controller that you stream games on. It's lame.
It's the shell of a mobile. It doesn't have any of the features of a mobile phone.
Yeah, I corrected myself. It's just a screen. It's just a screen with Wi-Fi and two halves of the controller on the side.
Can I be honest with you though?
There's no.
Be honest with you?
Sure.
I'm actually very excited for it. I really want it. I want it to work well.
If it's an OLED screen, I would.
I really want it. And here's why. Here's why.
Real quick, you'll go. First thing, or my last thing here, I want to say, besides the lacking of feature that it needs, that why it sucks, the other reason it sucks is I'm going to guarantee, we don't know yet, but I'm going to guarantee you guys the price is going to be sub $250, maybe even $300 for a screen with a controller, because the controller itself is $70, and the screen is an 8-inch tablet. I bet you that thing is easy money, $250,
If it's over $250,
$3.
they're fucking up. If it's over $250, they are.
It's likely $249.99. I think $300 would be something they'd strive for, and then bring it down to $249.99. But that's what's going to be, man. It's gonna because it's going to be a nice screen. It's going to be a nice screen, I think. And if it's not, I mean, who knows what the hell's
either way.
But go ahead, Drew.
Either way, I want it because I like handhelds, and I like the stuff that's on my PlayStation 5. If I don't have it on my Steam Deck, if it works well, I would like to have something like that dedicated just to stream stuff from my bed, from my PS. That's the only reason I want it. If it's affordable and not crazy priced and works well, I'm down. But you can already do it. You can get a backbone. It is literally branded for place. They have a backbone that's branded.
Explain the backbone.
It's basically it's a controller that you pull apart and you put your phone in it.
Yep. This
thing is using whatever they call it. They're streaming, whatever it is. It's kind of like xCloud, but not like xCloud. It's whatever. It's based off of that. You can already do what this thing's going to do on your phone with any controller. If you have a controller, you can do it. So.
And can I say real fast while you're talking about the backbone?
Go ahead. Yeah, I was going to wrap it up, but go ahead.
The backbone is $99.99, which that doesn't bode well for this product.
No,
it doesn't bode.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not like that's an expensive thing. Yeah,
it's cheap.
And they're nice too.
But
the backbone's nice.
But I bet you the control portion is going to be more expensive. If the backbone was a PS5 controller split in half, it would be like $150. Okay, just off the bat. Yeah. Not 90. It's the same
cool.
product, same product as the backbone, but with PS5 halves, it's $150. Add a screen in the middle. We are talking.
Well, that's the thing too. You have to remember this too. It's got all the features of the DualSense 5 too. All the haptic feedback and the stuff in the triggers. It's all in there. So yeah, I mean these controllers aren't cheap.
No,
but it doesn't matter. My entire point of going through all that stuff that's not Nintendo related, we're in year 3 of these consoles. Hold on, Alexa just turned on my lamp. Let me turn it.
She always, every week she does this to you, and you always at the same time, dude.
She turns it on when the sun goes down. The sun's not quite down. It's at dusk. She turns my lamp on. I don't know how to get her to stop.
That.
I don't know how to get her to stop.
Routines. I fixed that for my fiance's mom. It's routines. Dude.
Routines. Okay,
I don't even have Alexa devices.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'll look into that. My point is, we're in year 3. we're in year 3. And we are looking at Sony, Microsoft. They've got one big game this year in year 3.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to sound like a Nintendo fanboy just because I fucking am.
Breaking news. Breaking news. We're Nintendo
fanboys. Anyway, year 3, and I know anybody could probably argue some of this, but I'm going to say this loose. Year 3, Nintendo was putting out a first-party game almost every month, and it wasn't bullshit. It wasn't like this. It was a Nintendo property just about every month. Good ones. Like maybe not ones that, not ones for everybody, but something. They're putting stuff out, and they consistently did that throughout the Switch's life. Consistently. There was a little bit, yes, the pandemic changed things a little bit there. They were still putting stuff out. It wasn't as much, but they were still putting out
more
stuff
than
then.
Nintendo at the time. Nintendo was putting out diddly squat during the pandemic.
No, I'm talking about Nintendo. That's what
sorry,
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, they were putting some things out. They were still putting things out. Nobody else is putting anything out.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Let me clarify, because Nintendo was putting stuff out. You're right, but not
slower.
Way slow. It was a drag there for a couple of years.
Yeah, well, but
it really
was for everybody. It was for everybody.
Right. But Nintendo in particular.
My point of this is it's crazy to see this happen.
I had a bug dive bomb my table. Sorry, I got distracted.
Saw that.
I was very upset with that, so I lost track of what you were saying. But keep going.
Okay. My point is, Nintendo did it. They did it for us. We got Tears of the Kingdom. This is our last big. You know what I mean? This is like. It might be the last big game. We don't know.
Swan song, if you will. That's why I'm so not honored's the wrong word, but I'm so thrilled that we got the Switch, because the Switch OLED Tears of the Kingdom edition, because I know it's not gonna hold up, and we're gonna have a new Switch in a couple of years, but it's just gonna be that thing that we cherish here, like at the house. Like it's gonna embody everything the Switch was. Yeah. And I love that.
Yeah. And okay, so point with all that is
gush over that.
We're coming to the end. These other companies they're not even close. It's cool. My point with all that is it's cool. Switch users, Nintendo fans, we bitch about a lot of stuff, but we've had it pretty damn good. If you look at the grand scheme of everything.
Yes.
And what these other companies are giving their hardcore fans who really want their first party stuff, like we have it pretty good. But we're kind of coming to the end here. And we're in a weird spot. We're in a very weird spot, and that weird spot is June.
Yeah.
That weird spot is June, Geeb. You know what happens in June? Well, usually, not this year, usually E3 happens in June. And at E3, we usually get a presentation from just about everybody. We don't have that this year. We don't have that. We got PlayStation's thing. Xbox's is coming. Nintendo doesn't have one. Doesn't have one scheduled, doesn't have one planned as far as we know. We could see it, but as of right now, we don't have anything. And last night, we got an announcement for a game. One of the let's be honest, one of the greatest sequels of all time, probably.
We've all been waiting for it. I mean,
Tears of the Kingdom, we've really
Tears of the Kingdom, step aside.
Tears of the Kingdom, cool, whatever, fine. Everybody, 1-2 Switch, like, prayers answered. Hello. Okay, all jokes aside, we got a game announced, which is kind of weird. At this point in June, and we got 2 new pairs of Joy-Cons. So I want your take on this. What's this mean for a June Direct? What are you thinking on this now? Because I think you and I have a little bit different philosophies on how this is going to go. But I want yours first, so we can kind of compare and contrast.
How this could go this month is we do get a Direct, but it's going to feature Pikmin. It's going to feature everybody 1-2 Switch. They might even talk about these Joy-Cons. I doubt it, but they might.
Yeah.
But besides those 2 games, it's going to be lots of indies, lots of third-party stuff in general. And it's going to be one of those Directs that's just like, it's there. There's stuff in it.
Maybe a mini.
Maybe a mini, but if the stuff that is there, it's going to be like we know about most of the stuff, if not.
Or a partner showcase. Maybe.
Partner showcase, maybe, but that's not Direct. That's not Direct. That's not. I'm talking about it. Well, as far as a Nintendo Direct is concerned, we might see that where we see a Direct, but it's stuff that we've already know it's coming out, and it's just like, okay, that wasn't for the fans. That was just for. This is what we're getting, reminder, or we're getting nothing, and we're going to do the tweet thing, like we did the tweet dance, like we did, actually, wasn't it last year or the year before? I think it was last year, we did tweet dance, where Splatoon was 2 years ago, right? Where we got, Splatoon was announced, but like in a tweet, And then
No,
Xenoblade.
Splatoon was not announced in a tweet. That was in a direct for sure. Splatoon 3, the first trailer we got in a
I think
direct.
there was information. There were more information for Splatoon with happening.
They did a bunch of separate stuff, yeah.
And then Xenoblade got a lot of stuff too in the tweets, and we just played that tweet dance. That's why I made my video about the direct is dead. It was that whole thing. But now that didn't hold up well. But we did that
quite poorly.
I've noticed I've changed the name of that video. You should read the title.
I have not. I'll go back.
No one's watching it. I changed the title just for comedy because I know nobody's clicking on it.
That's
anyway.
Hilarious. Okay, so you think it's possible still?
I think it's very possible we get one. It's just gonna be something that we've seen before, where it's just a lot of stuff we've already seen. And then the other option is we just don't get anything. We're gonna get tweets, and I think that's what I think is gonna happen. Or like a partnership, the small things, either very small or non-existent to a very uneventful one.
I got you. Okay, so I want to tell you something about Everybody 1-2 Switch, because this was leaked. This game was leaked last year, right?
I heard about this. I didn't think much of it because I never had 1-2 Switch. I don't care about it, but I did hear about it at the time.
I gotta find it again. Yeah. I had it pulled up here and I lost it, but that's okay. I can find it. So it leaked. There's going to be another 1-2 Switch game.
And it leaked. There was a lot of negative feelings toward the leak, if I remember correctly. They were like, "This is not such a hot title," and Nintendo was holding it back for a reason, right?
Yeah, and as soon as I find it, I'm going to tell you what they said.
Yeah,
it's absolutely hilarious. Okay. So one of the reports described people being excruciatingly bored by this game. People who tested the game, played the game. Excruciatingly bored. Like that I mean,
what a headline.
What a headline. Doesn't scream game of the year, I don't know what does. Okay, I tell you that to make a point. My point is, I believe this is a game that may or may not have come out, been released, depending on things. Depending on maybe not. I think they decided whatever, we got it. Throw it out. But that tells me that Nintendo is done. They're done. They aren't. There's nothing huge.
Elaborate.
There's nothing coming out. There's nothing they're working on. We're not going to see... I don't think we're going to see a huge new holiday title. I don't think we're going to see a Mario or the rumored Donkey Kong this, or definitely not Metroid Prime 4. I don't think that's happening. I don't think the Switch is going to see anything big. I think Tears of the Kingdom was indeed that swan song you're talking about. I didn't really want to believe that, but I feel like them putting this game out, throwing more Joy-Cons out. We kind of talked about this before the podcast. That, you and I both agree that screams, let's get rid of this stock. We have parts we need to get rid of. Let's put a new color case on this thing. Get these parts out of here because we don't need them anymore. Feels a lot like that, doesn't it?
Yes. I mean, they've been screaming, Nintendo has been screaming that without actually saying it for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Just thinking about the OLED.
Special edition for every game that's big, every one. We got none for a long time, and then we get an OLED.
I was gonna say, I don't know if that means anything in particular. I just think that why we got so many special editions was not necessarily because they're getting rid of stock. I think we got them pretty close together all at once because they didn't do a whole lot. I think, kind of what you're saying, they didn't do a whole lot of special editions in the first place. They're trying to make up for that.
Maybe
with the
maybe
OLED.
So. Maybe so.
I say that, and I think Wood Beat 'em Ups did a video of 30 special edition Switches, which that's a lot of Switches. So maybe I'm kind of wrong about that.
Oh yeah, I did watch that.
But listen, most of those were just hey, look, little Disney ears, or hey, look, little Fortnite bus. They were.
I'm glad he bought them. Whatever. I ranked them, Geeb. I ranked them.
Yeah.
I didn't buy them all, but I ranked them.
You did.
That was fun.
Yeah. But
it was a lot of fun.
It was. There was a lot of special editions for the Switch. I guess I should backtrack a little bit. There was a lot, but they weren't great. And we're
getting a ton now.
We are getting a ton now. We are.
Okay, that just points to more the Switches. We're seeing the end, obviously, and that's not a new thing. It's not a surprise. We understand that this is it. Not totally it, but we're coming, as we talked about earlier before the pod. We've been at the top of the mountain, hanging out, just chill. It's time. You know, we're coming back down the other side. The sun's getting low. It's you know, it's time to go home.
It's time to take the dog out back, Drip.
Yeah, oh, it's not quite that time. I don't like that. Let's not say that. But
I love dogs.
My point is with this game being released after what we know when it was leaked, like people fucking hated it. They hated it. A lot of people thought this game wasn't even going to come out, but it is.
It is coming June 30th.
So now we're getting tinfoil hat. We're getting into tinfoil hat areas here. So, you know, yeah, put a can on your head. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I made a video. Was it last week? About Zelda and what's next.
Last week.
I think this game coming out right now screams those Zelda ports are coming soon this year. Late this year, early next year, the very end. This is the stuff that's left, and that's why they were saved. I think that might be one of the bigger games during the holiday this year, man, honestly. Because they don't have shit.
You know how down I would be for that.
Yeah. I mean, for a holiday game, yes. Like a double pack of that for the holidays, my God, it would sell like crazy. But I don't think they have much left, man. I think
they don't. Well, yeah, they don't. They don't have much left. But I'm under the impression after it's been so long now that if we haven't seen them yet, I just don't think we're gonna see them. I feel like if we were gonna see him already, we would have. We went a whole year with no Zelda. We went a whole year. 2022 came and went with no Zelda, and we had talked about on this very podcast the fact that those games were ready a long time ago.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, I still think they are.
So why did we get them in We didn't get them in 2022.
Tears of the Kingdom was ready a year ago. Whenever they gave us the delay, it was ready a year ago, but they didn't put it out. I just
don't think it's gonna happen. I think those leaks were either untrue or we're lying. And untrue would be no lie. I think those leaks were either bad information or untrue altogether. I just don't think if we were gonna get those on the Switch, we would have already gotten them. That's how I feel about it. I want them so badly. I would love to be wrong about this. Trust me, I'm the happiest guy when I'm wrong about things that I want. I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy. I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
Okay. We've been talking about these games, but okay, I just want to put it in perspective because I understand what you're saying, but you got to go back a little bit and think about this. Like really think about how crazy it would actually be if, what do we not have? We don't have Star Fox Zero, we don't have Xenoblade Chronicles X, and we don't have those two games. Like Star Fox Zero it wasn't a great Star Fox game. It wasn't well received. I mean, it was weird.
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles X they could put that could be in the works too. I mean, all these games could be in the works. That sounds
more likely to me, honestly.
Okay, but think about how every single first-party game almost, except for those 4, have been ported. And it's not like those are just random weird games. We're talking about Xenoblade. Sells pretty good. Not the best, but sells pretty good. We're talking about fucking Zelda. We're talking about Zelda, and we're talking about Star Fox. Which, not the greatest Star Fox game. It's still one of Nintendo's main franchises. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's one people know. It's one people love.
It's one that is lacking on the Switch at the moment, which would make it even more obvious why it should be on the Switch.
What's the closest thing we have to a Star Fox game? It's not even close. It's that Ubisoft game. What is it? Battle for Atlas.
Battle for Atlas. It's a very good game. Very good.
It is. That would be a great Star Fox game. It was only not the point. My point is, think about all the other games that they brought to the Switch. Even the ones that are like Pikmin 3. Like not to shit on Pikmin.
Don't you dare talk.
I'm not.
Don't you dare talk about Pikmin 3 badly. My son is listening.
Okay, I know, but I'm just saying. Pikmin 3 got ported to the Switch.
It did.
So you're think about how crazy that would be if all those games and I know there's more examples. There is Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, whatever the hell they called it. Like,
yeah,
come on, that one really? When you have Mario Maker 2 coming, like it's just all these games, and I know there's more. I know there's more
So
than I'm not thinking
get to
of
your
right now.
point. Not stop talking about the amount of games that aren't on it.
My point
What
is,
your
it would
point?
be absolutely wild for these games not to be put on the Switch. I think that the decision was made long ago, at the same time that this whole let's not put out Tears of the Kingdom right now. Let's wait till next year, even though it's done. Let's polish it up. I think the decision was made then. You know what? We're not going to have shit for games after Tears of the Kingdom. Let's not put this out. We're going to go a year. We're going to strategically take this year off from Zelda because these are the ones we have. We're going to strategically take this year off because we're going to save it for this point where we know we don't have shit to put out. But we will have something cool because everybody wants these games. People are going to be hyped. Zelda's going to be at an all-time high, and this is a perfect time to put these out and make some real money off. I could be totally wrong. That makes sense to me.
That you make it sound like great sense, and I agree. I think that your logic is sound. You're not crazy. That logic is sound. Yes. But here's my issue. Like I said a second ago, I just don't see it. I mean, it's just not. If it was gonna happen, it would have already happened. It's just not happening. Maybe we get one of them. I mean, maybe this year they throw a little Wind Waker at us. But hey, like for the reasons you just said, the hype of Zelda is at an all-time high right now. Throw out Wind Waker. Or better yet, as much as I love Wind Waker, or at least I haven't finished it, but you guys know I like it a lot still without finishing it. Probably Princess probably is a better throw out there because of the realistic art style. It doesn't hold up very well. That probably might be better. That might speak more toward the Tears of the Kingdom audience, the new people brought in from Tears of the Kingdom. That Twilight Princess might throwing out a cartoony Zelda like that may turn off some those Tears of the Kingdom people, but Twilight Princess, dark game, it's got a great story, the best Zelda story of all of the stories. I think that might be a better play, but I think Wind Waker might sell better. I do think that.
It sold better on the Wii U. I
think if there's only one,
it was the best selling. It was not the best selling game on the Wii U. I thought it was. There was like 4 ahead of it, but it sold miles better than Twilight Princess did. Yeah. If
there's only one that's going to be released, it's going to be Wind Waker. If it's both, though, I think that'd be a great play. And your logic is sound. I just don't think that's good. While it makes sense, it doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. And I just don't think it's actually going to happen. I think, like I said, for the reason I said already, 2022 came and went, no Zelda. You did make the point that Tears of the Kingdom was ready in 2022. Nintendo had said recently that Tears of the Kingdom was ready in 2022, and they held it back to get all the bugs out and that
polish it.
To polish it. Yeah, and that was a good choice. I agree.
Great choice.
That was a great choice. I mean,
we said it several times. Like, dude, hold it back. Make it good. Like, I can wait. It's fine. I want it, and they did. My God, it's good. It's so good.
But with that being said, they're not just gonna hold back those two Wind Waker and Twilight Princess just because in 2023 they were going to put out a bunch of Wii U ports. It's not like they're gonna throw them all at one strip. And let's be honest here, what do we got? 2 years left for the Switch?
Maybe.
Is there time? Is there even time? Because they're gonna space them out. And is there really time to? There's plenty that you point out some other games that could come to the Switch. I think.
There's two.
Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. If they were gonna already come, they would have come already.
Zero and
Star Fox is up first. Star Fox and Xenoblade is right off the bat. They're gonna come before those. Assuming and knowing what we know now that those 2 Zelda games did not come out. So I don't know. I'm not making sense anymore. But
yeah. My point is, let's go way back because we strayed off with the Zelda games. But I mean, I think those are coming, and if we don't get a June, I think it's up in the air at this point. Like, I don't know what they have.
Yeah, are we getting a June Direct?
We're
sitting right now.
We could be totally
2nd.
off. We could be totally off with this. We could get it. They could have. They could have put the. Okay, you see this game, the 1-2. Everybody 1-2 switch.
Yeah.
Like, oh well, they put a game out in June. They announced the game in June. Like, they're not having a direct, but it comes out at the end of June.
Yeah.
Like, what if the direct is planned? Like, are they just gonna announce it in a direct a week before, and then it would probably sell close to the same amount of copies regardless, if we're being honest. Nobody's buying this fucking game. But the point is, oh my God. Okay. Well, if you buy it,
let's get into that.
At least it's $30, not $50.
Let's get into that. Number 1, the price. It's a good price. And let me tell you,
$30.
that is a competitive price.
1-2 Switch was $50. $50, dude.
So you pointed out earlier, and I kind of made that connection. You know, when I saw the promotional stuff, or at least the image. It's going to be basically seems like it's going to be a competitor to those Jackbox party game style kinds of games.
So it's 1-2 Switch was basically a tech demo for the Joy-Cons. It did all the shaky this and that and whatever. This one is more, it looks like it's more of a team game. You can actually play it on your phone too.
Right.
That's weird.
That's a direct core competitor to the Jackbox games, but you play on your phone.
Yeah. So it's $30 too. That tech demo.
And those Jackbox games are about $25 on Switch, so $30 first party Nintendo game.
Yeah,
it's
your
competitive.
Nintendo tax right there. Yeah,
and it's competitive.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Whatever, you buy it, I'll buy it.
I think I've even thought I played lots of Jackbox personally. You and I played together at your house.
Yeah, that was fun.
I played with my friends all the time, before the pandemic. You know, back when you hung out with friends. We play. I play lots of those games with my friends, and
we should do that. We should do that again. Like not when you're here. Like we should just do it again soon. That was a good time. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. But yeah. So I think I've said before, like I think this would be cool if it had like Joy-Con support. Just like kind of play some of these games with like HD ROM. I think I've even said that on stream.
This game might be for you.
I'm saying, man. I think I'm gonna get it. Like I don't know when.
You should have been in these test groups, man. It would have been a whole nother story. Everybody would have been like, "You just wait."
Yeah.
Everybody 1-2 Switch is supposed to be the best shit ever. Like people are gonna die, literally.
Yeah. I mean, my only fear is that it's Nintendo, and some of these Jackbox things can get a little raunchy at times. Some of the funnier games, some of the more fun games, and funny, kind of come from a little bit of raunchiness.
Right. Well, it's not that kind of game though. It's mini games using motion controls and stuff. But I guess in each mini game, I don't know.
Gyro?
That's what I'm
what
saying.
What is the gyro on your phone? I mean,
it would have to be, I guess. But I guess there's like they have a certain amount of games, but then there's variations on those games. Like some of them you play this way, and it's like the same game, but it has different rules, and you can only do these certain things. It makes it more challenging. So they're taking that idea and kind of doing the same thing. I don't know. Let me
just finish my thought there. My fear is that it's gonna be a little bit of a 2 PG. Excuse me, 2 PG for my liking. I think it's gonna be a little bit too kid friendly, and it's just that's kind of the fun of Jackbox games is that you can get a little raunchy. This game won't let you say penis. You know, it won't let you type that or whatever. So like, I don't know if that's gonna be as fun. I mean, I have high hopes for it.
Yeah.
If I ever do get it, I'm not excited for it. I'm not like itching to play it, but I think it might be fun. But hearing from the things that we've heard before it came out,
I don't think it's going to be
not looking good. I mean,
no.
What was it? Extremely boring? What was it? What was the quote?
Excruciatingly boring to play.
That sounds like it's going to be too PG and not and it's not enough. I mean, $30 Nintendo games don't usually include a whole lot. Those are like $30 Nintendo games are either free to play games usually, or they're like worth money, but like
$15 Kirby's Dream Buffet, dude.
That's a free play.
I did. My kids love it.
It's still a free to play type game.
She literally, oh my god, she's getting really good at it too. Like she crushes people. She's good.
Nintendo charges $15 for free to play games instead of charging microtransactions. That's just what they do.
Well,
and for this $30 game, I don't know if it's a free to play game, but it's definitely, we're talking in $10 on Steam, $9.99. It's probably what's going to be, and it's kid friendly, so like not going to be that popular for most people. So,
we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I mean,
most adults.
Back to the direct thing.
Yeah, are we getting one?
I think it is a total coin flip at this point.
Yeah,
because we don't really know. Like I said, them putting this game out tells me they don't have shit. But at the same time, this game comes out at the end of the month. If they were having a direct this month, they're gonna have to put it out a little bit earlier than later this. You know what I mean? You can't have like a week. You can't have a week of promotion, even if the game's not gonna do well. Right?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're not expecting to sell that many, so they're just kind of throwing it up there because they put the resources out.
Maybe so, and maybe they don't want something like maybe they don't want that in the direct. Maybe they have other things. Maybe there is something. Like maybe I'm totally wrong about
the double pack. That's very possible. It's the headliner.
Or it could just be that I could be right that they don't have shit, but they want to do that type of stuff in the direct. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it could go anyway. I mean, saying that there's not going to be a direct at this point, I think is a little heavy-handed to just say no, it's not going to happen. I do think at this point it's a coin flip. Last week I would have said you're crazy. Yeah, it's June. They're definitely going to have a direct. But I mean, at this point, I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Let's take the conversation in this direction. We kind of already had, but let's just kind of wrap it up around here. So,
okay,
what is next? I mean, regardless if we get a June direct here, regardless, what is next for the Switch, for Nintendo games, hardware maybe? Like, what is next? What's the next play? Is the next play to just kind of go with we've accepted not defeat. We've accepted that the Switch is at its end, and we're gonna just
they're working on something else.
Let me finish. Let me finish. So, like, what's next? We know what's next. We know it's like what's coming. Yeah. That's not what I'm talking about. What's next for the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo? Okay. Like what's next for the Switch? Are we getting more games that are original new games? Are we getting just Wii U ports? Are we really not going to get much of anything for the next, I don't know, 7-ish months or so? And then suddenly in early 2023 or 4, hey, here's the new thing. It's going to be out in March, in May. You know, like, what's next? Is the Switch over? Is the Switch have more? Like, what? That's my question for you, Drip, and you guys at home.
And I kind of already answered it, but here's what I'm going to tell you. At the end of this month, we're going to know a whole lot more. By the end of this month, we're going to.
Why?
I can tell you right now, just by if they do their regular June direct and we see what's in there, we are going to know so much more about how long this thing's going to last. Because if it's like what I'm talking about, ports, not a whole lot of this, not a whole lot of that. You know, we got everybody 1-2 Switch. I think what you just said is probably reality. We've got this holiday. We go a couple months into the year, and then we see the new thing. And then it comes out a couple months after that.
Because they already said that they're not going to wait multiple months like the Switch. They're going to put it out pretty soon after they announce a new thing.
Yeah, they've been doing that too. I mean, they've been like with the OLED, they did that. They did it pretty quick.
That doesn't really count though. We're talking about brand new hardware.
They did that with the Switch too. Like when it was announced. Like
it took 9 months or 2 years. They announced a Switch 2 years prior with as the NX.
But that's not what that was. No. When they showed the Switch, when they were like, "Here's the Switch," it was months and it was out.
Yeah, but you're assuming the next thing that comes out of Nintendo's mouth in terms of next console is here's the name, here's the date, here's the product. The next thing out of their mouth could just be here's what we're working on, and it's an at-home console with. Hey, listen. Maybe the next thing they say is we're not going to give you a name, we're not giving you a date, we're not giving you a price, not giving you nothing. You're not even going to see the real thing. But what you're going to see is that it's what my idea was with the home console hybrid, taking the Wii U but on steroids.
Yeah.
Taking the Switch tablet as we know it, the same Switch tablet as we know it, even with the same performance, with the addition of a home console that connects to seamlessly. And this is not a Wii U tablet situation. This is it's a Switch. You can bring it anywhere, but it also connects to your home console. And it's $499, and it's a Wii U on steroids, and it's amazing.
I mean.
But they're not. But they could be the NX where it's like we don't know.
I don't think that's the case. I think we're too far.
They've already said they won't do that, so I've already kind of outdated.
Yeah, we're too far out anyway. Yeah, we're too far out. Like we're way out here in the water now. If they're gonna be like, oh, it's Project whatever, and then string us along, no way, man. If they did, that is a big fuck.
I just wanted another excuse to tell my thoughts about the next console.
I do like that idea. Yeah, you should find that episode and link it at the end of this one on YouTube because that was a good one. I do like that idea for that. I think honestly, like I said, I think we're gonna know a lot more once we see if there is a direct. If there isn't, I think the writing's on the wall. This new thing is probably sometime mid next year, and we're gonna start seeing just ports. This, that, whatever, little things here and there. I can tell you this. I don't think we're going to see a Mario on this Switch. I don't think we're going to see Metroid Prime 4 launched on this Switch. It may run on this Switch, but it's going to be. This is going with the next one now, right?
It may be dual released, but it's not. It's not coming to the Switch before the next system's out. I don't think.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I mean, think about it. We're coming up at the end. We are coming up on the end of the Mario Kart DLC. That's supposed to be
That's
done by
crazy.
the end of this year, correct?
That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
So once that's done, I mean, that opens the door for
10 years
Mario
of Mario
Kart 9.
10 years of Mario Kart. That's Mario Kart 9 is the next Switch thing.
I mean, that lines up pretty good, right? All your DLC's done. You've enjoyed it. You've kept people real interested in Mario Kart for a long time.
I think I would say the past 3 years since I become a Switch fan, I've been hearing about even before I make content on it. I've been hearing about this Switch Pro and everything like that. The next Switch. This is the first. I'm going to say this now. This is the first time I actually think for real that we're going to hear something next year. Like next year, I think is the year we hear something. It's not the year I don't know if it's the year we're going to play on it, but I do think 2024 June Direct might confirm it or deny it. But 2024 just might be the year we finally hear the successor to the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it
that's what's next. That's what's next to the Switch is done.
Yeah,
there's going to be some stuff that come out.
Switch, nothing. We're in the end.
Nothing. It's we've reached it. The Switch will be sold. It will be out for like a couple years after when the successor is out. The Switch is not going to. The Switch still has a chance. The next thing for the Switch is to be the next highest selling console of all time. It's right behind the PS5 and the DS. The PS2 and the DS and the DS. It's right there. And the Switch will be.
I haven't looked at that stuff.
It's right. Someone made a video. It was Nintendo Life or somebody made a video. I watched it. Sorry, I can't credit you. I don't remember who made it, but it said, we're right there, dude. We're right there. It's not likely that it passes the PS2. It should pass. It's more possible because the DS and the PS2 are like only 5 million separated. And someone made the point too in that video. They said the PS2 actually stopped recording sales after a while. So like that, it's really actually much higher than it is. So it's technically the Switch will never pass that. But the official number is still kind of too high for the Switch. But that if it's a situation where your old tablet's going to work with the new next system, it's possible.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is this a Switch 2 or is this a Switch XL? Is this a Switch? Is this a Switch? Is this?
If they call it Switch XL,
okay, I'm just saying we saw them do it with the.
I'm pivoting the sports strip.
Stuff.
I'm pivoting the sports. I got lots to say about my terrible Sixers and my god awful Phillies. I'm gonna pivot to sports. If they just did the Switch XL
hear me out.
Bullshit.
They did it with
spit on the ground.
They did it with the 3DS, the 3DS XL, the 2DS,
terrible idea.
The 2DS XL.
It was a disaster of a marketing.
But they counted all that. That is one. That is one thing. So if they did want to go for that PS2 crown,
they don't care.
This is still in that they could do that. I mean, whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying it's still possible. I don't think it's going to be a Switch 2 with a different. I don't know.
And
I
by
think
the
you're
way,
right, though. We do agree on that. That's next year, man. That's next year.
Just to kind of tell you, put you in your place. We're talking about just the not the DS family. I don't
think.
The
DS.
The DS individually was 145.
Well, it's going to be DS Lite, DS, and what else?
Okay. Not the 3DSs. Not the 3DSs.
No, the DS.
Just the DS.
And then the 3DS was a different thing.
So technically we could, whatever. All I'm saying is, I don't remember. All I'm saying is I don't remember. We reached that point.
That's all I'm saying too. That's all I'm ever saying. I don't remember.
I don't remember anything. Listen, anything we've said in the past. By the way, this is what? How many? Hold on, I'm going to check right this second. Including our I haven't not said this number in a while. Including our specials, like our when we're away and we put up an episode. Mm-hmm. Including those, this is episode 103. Drip.
Wow, so we missed our 100th episode talking about it, making a big deal about it.
Yeah, I didn't care. We can still do that. Who cares? 104, 100, whatever.
It's gone now. We could have done the 100th episode special.
We're coming up pretty soon on the real 100th. If we want to celebrate the 100th, the real 100th, not the ones that include the specials and shorts.
Well, hell yeah, I do. Obviously, I want to do that.
I'd have to go through and look. I'd have to go through and discount the ones. I don't know.
Okay, well, let's figure that out because that would be cool. We should totally do that. That's a great idea. I love it.
We could combine the 500 subscribers on YouTube and our 100th episode into one celebration
we
episode.
can figure something really funny to do. Maybe we can have people go back and find their funniest things we've got completely wrong that we were like dead set on, because there's a ton
I
of
can
those.
enable the ability to people to call into our show. We can do that through Anchor. You can like if I set it up right, you can actually. Can you do it right now? Let me check right now. This is working.
That would be amazing.
Can you,
that would be
if
amazing.
you click on if you click on our audio episode, can you call in? Send in a voice message right there. If you have the audio podcast app, go to your app. Also download our episodes and listen to them. But as well, you can click on it and leave us a voice message. I don't know where those messages will go. I wouldn't know how to reach them, but you reach out to Twitter. Let me know that if you guys want to leave us a message.
Brett's calling right now to check. Thank you.
To celebrate our 100th episode / 500 subscriber thing, leave us a message. Tell us your favorite. I don't know. What should we tell them to say, Drip? What do you want them to call in about?
Tell us the funniest thing that we totally got wrong and we're dead set was going to be right. Because
you heard the man.
I've
everybody.
got a stack of those, man. I've got a.
I don't like I said. I don't remember anything about this podcast. Everything I've said prior to tonight, I don't remember any of it. But yeah, I like that idea. What is the funniest thing that we got dead wrong?
That we were 100% right about. We made bets on stuff, man. We made bets. Like, I'm so sure I will bet you.
Yeah. / your favorite Drip and Geeb moment. You know, if you don't have anything,
that's fun.
And if you just want to call in and say thank you for 100 episodes and stuff like that, and,
or call in and say fuck
do,
you, your podcast is terrible. Whatever you want to do.
I might put those in.
Why not?
Joe would say something stupid.
It's whatever.
Yeah, you leave us a voice message. I don't really put that out there very often, but and it's been there for a long time.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah. So with all that out of the way, guys, this is the end of the episode of 103, theoretically. This has been fun, Drip. It's a little short one, I think. It's like a little bit shorter than usual, I believe. But with that, we'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye.